everybody, and welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this is The Thunder Show. Late back Monday, very weird. I'm in a chilled mood today. Maybe because I'm chilled because there are some very intriguing wines from North Carolina in front of me, and I'm excited about tasting them. I have not done a lot of North Carolina wine tastings in my career, so this will be fun for me and you, and you know when you do that, it's fun for everybody. 4 wines, 2 different wineries, excited to jump in. Let's talk about what happened yesterday. Calvin Clemens' era started, he looked good, Patriots won, everything's the same, Knicks won. The Knicks won, and that's all I talk about. So if you're coming to the Thunder Show for football, you're going to have to move on and go somewhere else because we talk about basketball here. And Canada Dave, I did notice the Raptors lost yesterday, buddy. Sorry. So that's what we talk about sports-wise, but really this is a wine show, and I'm in a weird mood. I got to tape 5 episodes today, Eric, and this is going to get very strange very quickly. Let's get into the first wine and talk about strange. Rag Apple Lassie Vineyards. They put a sticker for the vintage because they didn't have it anywhere else. I love that. It's got a cow sitting on a moon, estate grown from Yadkin Valley, North Carolina, Viognier. Now this wine rolls in at $16 US, which is a problem right off the bat because that's Vinny Testaverde's number, and he is a straight trader. This comes to us from Frank Hobson Jr. and his wife Lena. Small family owned. It's very nice to see stuff like that. And I'm excited about trying the Viognier because Viognier, a Rhone varietal white, is very interesting. And the best thing about this wine is that if you bring this bottle back to Rag Apple Lassie Winery, you get 25 cents credit on your next purchase. And you know what? That's pretty darn cool. Recycling and things like that nature. It's pretty cool. I don't think they reuse it, but maybe. I mean, these bottles are nice. This is a great package. I mean, I think a lot of people can learn from that. Let's see if the wine is bringing the thunder. 16 bones. I'm a huge fan of Viognier. I tend to drink a lot of Condrieu, and I'm a big fan of a lot of Rhone white wine varietals. You may remember way back the Coupe, which did real well. And just in general, I love Viognier. 16 bones is a kind of a fair price. Viognier gets expensive. One thing I will tell you about wines from other parts of the country besides California, they tend to be overpriced in my opinion. And that's really the biggest problem. And I don't blame them because these are small farm, wineries that are struggling to get, they need high margins to really be able, because they don't have the speed of turnover that a Clos de Bar or Kendall Jackson or lots of California wineries, because Safeway and Costco and Tesco, which is coming, and and these places are not going to load this up on floor displays in their shops, and so they've got a whole different kind of business model. So a lot of people hate on them, and let's not drink the haterade on these small wineries from around the country. However, there is that problem, and it is an issue in my opinion. It is definitely a problem because it's tough to justify them as a QPR, which is what we do on the Thunder Show. So these wines are going to have to come through strong, but they may. Really nice color on the Viognier. I'm happy. I don't want to pour it on this computer thing because, if you put liquids on computers there, it's a bad thing. It's a long story. We'll talk about that later. A very interesting weekend. Really nice golden color for Viognier. Let's give it a sniffy sniff and see what's up. Put on your powder blue jerseys because this is kind of interesting. This has a tremendous Viognier nose. North Carolina, University of North Carolina air. Come on, follow me here. This has a very nice Viognier-esque nose. I like the oily kind of component that's coming through the nose. I do get an apple peel kind of component, which is quite interesting and intriguing and nice. Really nice. There's a little bit of a grain component. I want to call it grape nut cereal because that's what I like to eat, and it is kind of coming through there. Very, very, very aromatically interesting. I like the nose. This is off to a very good start. Rag Apple Lassie, good job. Let's give it a whirl. Has some really nice acidity, but it really loses mouthfeel throughout the process. The wine kind of disappears on me. The alcohol really rips through my palate. 12.5. you know, the fruit is kind of just mellow. I'm not feeling this wine all that much. Let me just give it one more shot because, God, on the nose, it was had so much potential. It has good mouthfeel. It finishes like straight crap. I mean, that's the problem with this wine. It actually, as I broke it down just now, the aftertaste, the finish is really awkward. It has a loss of flavor. It's got decent mouthfeel, and then it drops off. It really is a cliff wine. It's just like, new, and you don't want, new, you don't want that. I'm not down with this wine. I actually find it completely off balance on the finish. It does have some lemon peel, almost like the espresso lemon peel that you get. Flavors on the component throughout the wine. No mid palate. It's really starting to piss me off actually as well. I don't even like the flavor that's in my mouth. I'm going to move quickly to the next wine. I'm going to score this wine 77 points and give it a major pass. And for $16, you're going to be really awfully upset. I mean, you know, I apologize. Really great package. I just don't feel it at all. At all. Rag Apple Lassie Cabernet Sauvignon 2004. The only way, you know, there was like a sticker on the top of the bottle. I totally forgot the anyway, sorry. Also $16 US from North Carolina. NC baby. And let's see what this wine has going for it. One thing it doesn't have going for it is classic Cabernet color. But let's just make pretend. Interesting. One of the lighter Cabernets that I've come across in a long time. You may be able to tell. Very, very light for Cab. Let's give it a little bit of a sniffy sniff. Wow. This smells like maple syrup poured over... I don't even know what it... I know it's maple syrup and lots of sugar. That I know. What is it poured over? What is the core of this? Something not right. Oh, God. Whew. Lots of sugar. I get a maple syrup component. I'm not really sure what else is coming through in this nose. All I can tell you is that armpit, New Jersey chemicals come to mind. It's amazing. You drive down 95 and everybody has just summed up what New Jersey is. And I'm not going to fight for New Jersey now, and I know everybody outside of New Jersey is going to be like, oh. But this has some toxic chemical action going on in the nose, and it feels like it's hidden by sugar and syrup. Let's give it a whirl. You know, I feel bad. I mean, people send me wine, and, you know, and they ask for... I mean, the one thing when people email me, I always email them back. I'm like, listen, I have to tell the truth. You know, you're doing such a nice gesture. Of course, you want the exposure. That's why you're sending me the wine, but please rest assured that I've got to give my honest opinion. My honest opinion on this wine is that it's not the best Cabernet I've ever had. It actually tasted a lot better than the nose was for a quick second. So that second glimpse was nice. You know when you see, like... that nice glimpse of hope in something for a quick second. This wine's like seeing a glimpse of hope in Saddam Hussein. I mean, this is really, you know, like hanging with him for a minute and be like, oh, no, you're a bad guy. I mean, this wine is not good. I mean, it's really, for $16, very overpriced. There's a lot of $6, $7 Cabernets from California, Chile, Argentina, everywhere, really, that I've had. I mean, this is really not enjoyable. That's really what it comes down to. These wines, I found both of them not to be enjoyable. And maybe my palate's off today. I could be totally wrong. People could totally disagree with me. I'm not feeling them today. I'm going to score this wine in the 57-point range, and I'm going to move on. I really apologize, because I'm sure they make some really good wines, and they sent me some other, you know, varietals, and those could be the ones that really work, and I'm really sorry. Let's move on. This is the Childress Vineyard Reserve Cabernet Franc 2004. This wine rolls in at 25 bones, and this comes from Richard Childress, the NASCAR team owner. So this is probably a big deal in that part of the world. 78% Cabernet Franc, 12% Cabernet Sauvignon, 10% Merlot. This is from Lexington, North Carolina. $25 for a reserve Cab Franc. That's ballsy. Let's see what's going on here. Let's give it a rinse. Let's get into it. This one's numbered. I noticed I didn't have the blend breakdown on this. While I rinse this, I'm going to see if I can find the break blend. Give me 1 sec. Eric, keep them interested. The Thunder Show. Anyway, Cabernet Franc. Loire Valley is the place I love to roll and hang out. Vegas, Loire Valley. Where do you want to hang for a night? Loire Valley. Give me that Cab Franc. I'm a big fan of Cabernet Franc. I drink it often, early and often, as I like to say, and I'm a big fan of it, so I critique them tough. So this is, a ballsy move to put out a $25 Cab Franc from North Carolina. You're rolling at Chinon prices, so I'm going to be critical, but maybe you're rolling. Let's see what's going on here. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. Now, this is much more candied than I would expect for a Cabernet Franc. It feels like they're doing what California likes to do, which is go Cabernet on me when they're trying to do Cab Franc. No vegetal green components that I tend to adore and love about Cab Franc. No, this is cotton candy, Skittles, rainbow fluff. However, very nice. Candy-esque, over-the-top ripe. It smells good. It smells delicious, like Twizzlers. It smells really pretty. I'm excited to see where it goes. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's going to go in the direction of traditional Cabernet Franc flavors, but it could be a good wine for a New World Fruit Bomb. That's what it smells like because the sugar is really rolling on my nose. Let's give it a whirl. Now there's 22% Merlot and Cabernet, and they're really dominating. I don't get the traditional Cabernet Franc flavors, but here on the finish, I'm getting a little bit of a dirt and a little bit of a broccoli component, which I'm liking. I gotta tell you, I'm a little disappointed that it's not Cabernet Franc oriented. However, I'm not disappointed in the fact that this is a pretty good wine. It's a little bit more sugary than I would like. Gets a little fake for a half a second, but it's a pretty nice drink. It's delicious, which is a nice start, and it's polished, which I like. Let's give it one little whirl. There's some dark chocolate components, which I'm really intrigued by. Blackberry jam reduction. It's hedonistic at some level, which is kind of interesting to me. If you're an Australian Fruit Bomb fan, I can see you liking this wine. Tastes nothing like a Cabernet Franc, but it's an actually solid drink. I'm going to score this wine 88 plus points. It's a good wine. $25, pushing it. However, if you're down with NC, you're born there, you love it, you want to represent, and you want to find a wine to drink, this is more than fine. And the fruit is so firm and explosive that I can even see this being a very good pairing for Thanksgiving. Because with a dry bird, yes, it's dry. I don't care how juicy your grandma makes it. With a dry bird, this is the kind of wine that I think brings enough lushness and explosiveness to the table to be enjoyable. Nice effort. Not bad at all. Quick stop. Alex Haig, go Bonnies. That's it. That's what they wanted. And finally, sorry I had to jump up. I was trying to see if I could find the blend on this wine. Unfortunately, I can't. Is this actually signed by Richard Childress? I think it is. That's kind of cool. That's probably worth money on the NASCAR scene. Bottle, and they number every bottle. 2306 of 2800. Why did I get such a high number? I wanted to be a little bit lower. Anyway, 2003 Signature Series Meritage. In the note that was sent, it's a classic Bordeaux style. Fine. So I guess it's, $40 US. So, I mean, that's really ballsy. That's like, that's interesting. What is that like? That's like, I don't know.
Paying for the signature.
Really? You think you're paying for the signature? Probably. It's probably worth more. You could probably put the empty bottle on eBay and get $41 and drink the wine for free and flip a quick $1 profit. I mean, come on. Only in America. So, $40. good bottle. You know, it's got the waxy kind of top. They're doing all the California things right. Mr. Childress probably has spent some time in Cali and knows a formula, a secret sauce, as they call it in Napa. Let's give it a little bit of a whirl. It's got some nice color. I assume this is a Cab Merlot, Cab Franc blend, probably similar to the Reserve Cab Franc. We saw how it went Cab there. Anyway, let's give it a little bit of a snippy sniff. This I like. These wines are decent. This is interesting. This has a very interesting nose. Now, they're expensive, but this has like a sour cherry meets raspberry jam in a no-holds-bar arm wrestling Jesse the Body Ventura versus Dino Bravo style kind of situation. That was like on Saturday night. No, where was that? Was on USA. Like when remember USA had it? Bobby the Brain had a show. Anyway, because the nose is very complex and it has very sour and very fruity components coming through on the nose. There's almost like a milky tomato juice kind of component coming through on the nose as well. Almost really like tomato juice meets milk on the nose. Raspberry jam and sour cherry, and that mixed all together is what's coming through for me on the nose, which is very different, funky, and enjoyable. Oak coming through as well, little spearmint, peppermint kind of components, almost eggnoggish. I mean, there's a lot going on in this nose. What else can we throw in here? Bill Belichick's hoodie after a game. I mean, there's a lot of things going on here. Let's give it a whirl. You get all that and a bag of chips. I mean, in a weird way, this tastes to me like everything that's wrong about Napa Valley, kind of like construed in, you know, feels like it's done in the science room, not in the vineyards. It's got a polish. It's a style. This is a wine that has a style. I mean, you've drank this wine before. You've definitely had. I mean, if you've drank, you know, Jordan Cab or things of that nature. So these are, you know, that's probably a huge recommendation. It's a huge compliment for North Carolina wine compared to something like that. It's a little peppermint, minty, eucalyptusy kind of for me. Just a tad. Goes a little Ricola on me a little bit there. But all in all, it's a well-made wine. I find it to be less interesting and less exciting than the Cabernet Franc Reserve. I'm going to score 87 points. And obviously at, you know, at $40, I'm going to have to give it a pass. But here's where it gets real interesting for me. More than the Rag, Apple, Lassie, these Childress wines do show potential and show me exactly what I believe, which is that the landscape of the wine industry in America in 25 years will look completely different. When I rewind this in 25 years as I'm sitting on a boat fishing with my good friend Eric trying to figure out how to launch the next MySpace 6.0, I will be happy to watch this as North Carolina wines are dominating and winning competitions and getting 93-point scores from the much cooler person that takes over for me. All in all, potential is clearly there. If we would have just stuck with the first two wines, I would have been concerned because they really weren't classic examples of those varietals. I think maybe North Carolina has to find the grape or two that really works in the area. I'd be curious to, you know, see what that is. But interesting wines. These wines are good. They really are a little too fakey for me, and that's what kept them away from being really interesting wines above 90 points. But all in all, as you can see, I'm taking a little bit of a serious tone. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens over the next 5 to 10 years. And you know what? Schlepping down to North Carolina is a lot easier than going to France or California, so I'm rooting for them. And that's all I've got to say on North Carolina wines there. I do hate Michael Jordan. Can I throw that in there? I hate him with everything I've got. Michael, I hate you. I've cried many nights because of you. I know you're watching, and I hate you. Question of the day. Who do you hate? Because you. It's going to get nasty in there. You have a question today? All right, yeah. We're gonna take that off because that's not even, that's fine for me. I don't even want to ask that question. Who do you hate? That's not good. That's not my style. But I still hate you, Michael Jordan, and Tom Brady, and Belichick. Anything with sports. Other than that, I love everybody. Go ahead, Aaron.
What happened to the no win beer?
Because you. I hope they didn't hear that. Because you. All right, the real question of the day. Why is Eric a jerk? Because you. With a little bit of me, we're changing the wine world.